Yeah, well, hello there, folks. Welcome back to my channel. Hope each and every one of you are still truly well and blessed by our Lord and Savior. As you can see, a lovely, lovely blue sky day, sunny day here in sunny South Africa. Yeah, it's starting to get colder. The grass is still nice and green, but definitely signs of winter starting to set in. So yeah, folks, what are we doing today? Well, we're continuing on with that Turbo Busa build because we really need to get it done. So we can start with the next one and the next one. There's two more that I'm busy with that I can't show you at this moment because we're busy with this one. I want to finish with this one and then we can start with the next two. Yo, crazy. So yeah, I can tell you in this intro, because I've already done it, the motor will be back in the bike by the end of this video, and we will be getting very close to starting up this new turbo setup. So yeah, get yourself some popcorn, something to drink, and let's get going with the action. Alrighty there, folks. So yeah, as per usual, before we start the video, we give a shout out to the sponsors of my channel, all these members. They are like the sponsors of this channel because they pay a fee, they get exclusive members only videos and early access to the videos, and then now they will be the first ones to be able to buy the new merch. So yeah, it's not a merch store yet, but we've got some exciting merch coming up, and yeah, they will be getting a video on what merch it is and stuff, and yeah, they are gonna have access to it first. So yeah, just a quick shout out to all the members. Thank you all a lot. It means a lot. It helps me a lot. And yeah, check out for that merch. If you want something, let me know. And yeah, let's get back to the video. Yeah, okay, folks. So we are continuing on getting this build done. The only reason we're continuing with this and not something else is we need to get it done. We've got two turbo builds after this one, so yeah, we need to get a move on. It's been too long now. So yeah, well, what are we gonna do? Well, I got the sump back. I'll just show you a couple of extra fittings I made. So yeah, there you can see the return, very nicely welded on. And if you can see on the inside, there's no hole, so we still need to make the hole. But yeah, just look at that welder. Didn't even really go past the edge. But yeah, so we need to make the hole and put the sump back on. So yeah, we're doing that. But before we do that, we need to finish up with the turbo. Because as I showed you in the end of the last video, we need to cut this piece off. We need to cut this one shorter and essentially make that, mark it, so we can have it welded. So yeah, quickly let me take this nice little cover off because they interfere with the magic. So yeah, not gonna waste your time, you see. All right, so 1, 2, yeah, just like that. You can see turbo is already cut and the pieces are already made. So yeah, the reason I don't use these too much is because every time I snap my fingers, like an hour or two elapses in just one click. So yeah, this is the from the 90 we cut off. This is the piece from the turbo we cut off. Oh, and then if you check, The turbo side is much bigger, so there's much more meat. And then you would be wondering, and this little piece, well, just to give you an idea, this is how much you have to cut off, or how much I didn't cut off to get it perfectly into place. Nice. You check there, it's not a 90-degree bend, it's more like say a 80-degree. So yeah, quickly gonna take mark it, and I don't think I'm gonna tape it, I'll just mark it in the right position. We're not really gonna flare it upwards too much, but maybe a little. I'll just check it, but we'll mark it. And then what we'll do is we'll quickly install the turbo oil feed line and put the hole in the sump, and then we'll take the turbo off, because to get all this welded and all the stuff done, it's going to take a little while. So that's why I do it while the motor is still here, and then when we put the motor back in the bike and we sort all those little things out there on that side, then the guys have time to weld this and weld that. There's also, well, this one is sitting like this, there's one gonna be like in that area, plus minus, to take the boost pipe all the way up and over the motor. But that one I will mark when the motor is in the bike. So yeah, enough of me yapping, I'll quickly mark this and then I'll show you those oil feed lines, so we can get this turbo off and get that sump installed and get the motor back in the bike. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, okay, compressor housing is off. You will see I marked it. It's just got a piece of rag in it to hold it in position. So that's how I'm gonna have it welded. It's marked all the way around. This side, what do we need to do next? We need to clock this turbo up, because that is the drain. That's supposed to be at the bottom. And then we need to put the oil feed at the top. And talking about oil feed, there's a blank off on this side. You need to take that out. I have these ones. So it's a 14 by 1 to 5, turns into there, and then it has a taper thread on this side for this. Now where's the other one? Okay, for this. Alright, you see, so just hold on, goes in there. I can get it in. You need to put thread seal on it, and yeah, I'm not going to tighten it. As you see, that one is also not tight at the moment, but yeah, they get seal like this. It's a O-ring and a crash washer. And then we go to this. Already they look like, as you can see, bought more parts. Okay, no, that's the return one. And where's the other oil feed one? Ah, there it is. Okay, so they look like this when I bought them. Just a normal piece with a hole in it. So what I did was tapped it to that taper thread. Just put that down. You get one of these ones, straight one, goes in, and then our new oil feed line, which is too long at the moment, but as you can see, these are those FDF fittings, so they're not crimped on. You can shorten the line and everything. So let's quickly clock up that turbo in the right position, and we'll shorten this line to make it work, and just get it roughly in position. And yeah, then we can take the turbo off and put the sump on, or make a hole in the sump and then put the sump on. Important thing to remember or know when you're clocking up your turbo, you loosen these bolts and then you can turn it. Now the return is at the bottom, the oil inlet's at the top. Important, it must go straight down, the oil. You can have it at a bit of an angle, but not a 90-degree angle, otherwise it'll seize up completely. So yeah, now you see there's clearance here, but yeah, we're a little bit long, eh? So yeah, we need to make it shorter. So important, when you cut it longer, rather cut it longer. You can always make it shorter later, but yeah, that's pretty much where I'm gonna have to cut it, and then move that fitting over here, and we should be done. And that hose is made maybe a bit long, but we can cut it shorter. So this is how much we cut out, and yeah, you just unscrew the point, flare it a bit like this, and just screw it back in. But yeah, we'll leave it like this until we're ready to start her. So now I can disconnect this line again. We can leave it on the turbo like that, but take the turbo off. We don't need to cut the return line now. We'll do that when it's in the bike. And then for anyone wondering or worrying, this hole, there's one on the other side. It's for water cooling. This is an aftermarket turbo. We're not going to be using the water cooling. I will be looking for some kind of block of plug, because I know the guy that took the beaking from me, he phoned me in a panic state and asked me, something got lost here in the front. I said, no, nothing goes there. But yeah, so don't worry about this hole. It's just for water, and we won't be using any water. So yeah, let's get this turbo off so we can remove that sump and install the other one. Okay, turbo is off. Motor is already lying on its side. We quickly need to take all the bolts out of the sump, because I put all of the bolts back in. New sump, not new sump, old sump, original sump. Aha! Hole is made. So yeah, we need to put the sump back on. You can see it's nice and clean. Put it here on the side. Remember again, when you take the sump off, this one gets that little seal, remember, because it goes into the clutch cover. It's the only one of the holes that goes into a cover straight through, where there's oil on the inside. All these other ones, they don't go through anything. So yeah, we'll quickly take the sump off. I'm not going to show you. I'll show you when we put the other sump back on. And like that, just like that, sump is off, ready for the new one. We can use this gasket again. It doesn't look bad, but it's not original Suzuki gasket. So I think what we're gonna do is we'll try and take it off and putting a genuine Suzuki gasket on. Hopefully it doesn't tear. And then if you really want to reuse a gasket, I won't reuse this one because it's just a paper gasket. The original Suzuki one, it's got metal on the inside. It was a metal gasket. Don't tear, don't tear, don't tear. Good. Don't know why I'm so scared I can tear the damn thing. Alright, so if you want to reuse a gasket, we'll just clean the surface off a bit. Then normally you use silicone to make sure it seals back on the surface and it's all nice and tight. And yeah, well, I don't use silicone. We don't like using silicone. Silicone ends up in your little pickup and starves your motor of oil. So what do? There must be some sort of plan if you want to reuse a gasket. Well, let me show you. Hello, Tilly. This is the original. These ones got metal on the inside. So you can see I painted them Coppertech. So yeah, what does the Coppertech do? It's a copper gasket sealer. So this is essentially like silicone, just without being silicone. It's the same stuff you get on, well, standard gaskets when you buy them. But now I don't have to put silicone on. It's got Coppertech on, so it won't smudge up, end up in the oil and end up in the pickup. So I'll just Scotch-Brite the surface quickly, make sure it's nice and clean because of these little spots over here. And we'll install this one with the correct sump. Just leave it there. Okay, let me quickly clean that up. Nice and clean surface, as you can see all around. I did have this pickup in the ultrasonic, and yeah, absolutely nothing came out. I do have two other oil pickups, which I would show you in the ultrasonic cleaner, how it looks when, yeah, all the lekker groceries comes out. Okay, folks, so I did say I was going to show you the ultrasonic on one of these. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, probably you can see there on the inside. These are older ones that I couldn't get clean. Oh, just look at that one. So we're quickly gonna try the ultrasonic. The one on the motor was clean, so we'll see if we can get these ones clean. So you understand now. Otherwise, if I touch the camera and the ultrasonic, you won't hear me. So yeah, important. I mustn't let water get into this side, only that side. See if we can get anything off. Water. Okay, doesn't seem like they want to stay up. The ultrasonic is making them drop down, and I need a bit more water. So it's just water and a bit of degreaser. That's why it's white like it is. You can move it around. Check what's coming out. Most important is just not to have any water coming to this side, otherwise you can have chunky bits going into that side. Okay. Excuse the village idiot in the background with the blower. I hope the camera doesn't pick too much of that noise up. So what I think I'll do is I'm gonna tie them like this together, so we know nothing can go in, and then they can stay together. So let me quickly do that. Alright, so we cable tied them together like this, and it stops it from falling in. So the only place there isn't water is here in the beginning. We'll leave it for 30 minutes and then I'll show you how they come out. Alright, I'm not going to put it on time lapse or anything, and just let it continue and show you the end result. Okay folks, gonna end this cleaning video here. They came out not perfect, but that water mixture is so filthy at the moment, I don't think it can clean anymore. But yeah, I don't know if you can see, but they look much better, a million times better. Still won't use them. I'll maybe clean them a bit more, and maybe in the next video I'll show you what the end result is. But as I say, that mixture is too filthy to continue with it. I need to pour it out. I'll show you what I collect in the next video. Okay, let's go on with this one. Then, as you can see, just get that, we have got it on. So I'll quickly put that sump on, just put the bolt or 2 or 3 in position, and yeah, we can tighten the sump up. So say, just remember that bolt goes through. Okay, let me put that sump on. Remember, these 2 bolts are longer, all the other ones are exactly the same. And then the seal on that one. And then do not use a Duga to tighten these bolts. Use a ratchet and tighten them. They've got a torque setting. Don't listen to that torque setting. Hand tighten them. You can rather check them later on, but they strip also like nothing, so best not to do it like that. So yeah, that's it. We'll quickly just put a cap on here, make sure there's nothing going in there. We'll put the motor upright, and then Tilly is going to help me carry it back to the bike so we can reinstall it. Let's do it. Guess who's back? Back at the bike. Okay, as you can see, got the block and tackle already on, already hooked, ready to put the motor back in. But we've got a couple of things we need to do when the motor is back in. One thing is we need to change the fuel pump. So quickly gonna disconnect the throttle lines and the fast idle or choke, or whichever you want to call it, and we'll remove these throttles, put the motor back in, and then we'll start working with what we need to do with the throttles, new fuel pressure regulator, all that groceries, boost box, all the lines, everything that needs to happen will happen. But we'll remove this to get it out of the way, make more space for when the motor is in, so we can do all that activities. So yeah, I'll quickly remove this, and then I'll quickly maybe show you how I put the motor back in, but I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, and just like that, the motor is fully reinstalled back into the bike. And yeah, I just noticed I forgot a couple of things. I did connect these pipes now, but I didn't even clamp them. I didn't put the water temp back, and I didn't put those rubbers in. And then here on the starter side, when I was busy with the timing, if you remember, the nut was stripped and hit, and yeah, I broke it. So yeah, I bought a brand new Suzuki one. So yeah, let's hope this is a Busa one, if I can just get it open. Till you help. Till you help vanaf. Aha, sweet. You see, spanner assistant only helping you halfway. Okay, so I need to put that O-ring. They don't supply you with a new O-ring, but yeah, brand new Suzuki nut. We'll quickly reinstall that, and then we'll start figuring out the fuel pressure regulator. Yeah, put plugs in, re-plug all the pickups and stuff back in. We still need to sort out that regulator. We'll probably just put a new plug or delete that plug. But we'll start reinstalling everything now back onto the bike, so we can get a close to getting us started. Alright, let me quickly do this. Okay, so what I quickly did was I brought over that water temp sensor, installed it, plugged it in, connected that clamp and water pipe, reconnected the starter, connected the earth. That whole breather system is now gone, so I reinstalled 2 shorter bolts in there, and the gear indicator and oil pressure sensor, plugged all of that in. So pretty much not everything, but we've got room for activities. I did remove that whole vacuum system for the flap in the airbox because it's not working anymore. I did remove the lines, and if you check there's the unit, so the lines are just removed. It's still plugged in, so it won't be giving a FI. You can still see it, it's just not working anymore. Then things we need to do, the fuel pressure regulator, I did put it together and everything, but we need to find a home for it. I think before we can do that, we need to reinstall the throttles. Before we can reinstall the throttles, we need to put the new fuel pump and stuff in. So what else I'm gonna do, because this and the fuel pump is gonna take a bit of time, and I don't want to waste your time by taking a long time with that. I'll put in the spark plugs, reinstall the coils, put the water pipes and stuff back on, the line that goes to the front. I'll do all of that stuff in this video, and then maybe for the next video we'll figure out the fuel pressure and the fuel pump and the throttles, something like that. So let me see what else I can do, and then we'll just work from there on. Alright, let me do a couple of more things. Yeah, okay, spark plugs are in, coil packs are in, sensors are connected, water pipe is, radiators, water pipes reinstalled, no radiator yet. This pipe, reinstalled it. I know a couple of guys like to take it this way. I like taking it the original way, because normally on this side we need the space. So you route it. This is for rubbing against everything on this side, goes over through to that side. So I'm not showing you everything, I'm just showing you what I did, only to not take too long. And yeah, we need to get this bike started. Why will I show you how to install a water hose? That's easy. Okay, so I reinstalled the side stand. Again, 2 number 17 bolts. Put the sprocket back on, tighten the nut, put the speedo drive back. So all of that's back in place. I'll put this cover back on next, and then we are pretty close to being done on this side. I know I'm jumping around from one thing to another thing, but the big thing is the more things I can get done, the closer we are to starting the bike. So sorry for doing it like that. I'll put this cover on. I see I also forgot, I took those purple ones out and I didn't put other ones in, so I'll even do that, and then we're pretty much done over here. Quickly just want to show you that side. Oh, crazy. More new parts, nice. Alright, so here's that whole throttle assembly. We'll leave these brackets, we'll use them. So as you see, there's the fuel pressure regulator, the normal one that goes with the Busa. So all of this will be coming out. 2 lines, we'll be running 2 lines again, and yeah, here's the new fuel pump. Oh, let's get it out. So it's Bosch, I can't remember, 101 or something like that. There you can see it. It's got nice, you can put nice lines and stuff on it. So yeah, we'll probably be installing it something like this, putting nice clamps and stuff on it to make it look good. But yeah, this is the high pressure side, this is the low pressure side. So as you can see like this is from the tank, or that one can't remember, but let's say this one is the feed line from the tank. It'll go into this side, and that's the return line. We'll be having a new return line, and we also need for the other 4 injectors to make a place where we can connect another fuel line for that also. But yeah, quickly we'll remove all of this, install this, and yeah, work from there. But yeah, I think that should be pretty much something for the next video for you guys to check out for, because yeah, it's something nice to see. So as I said, let me work that out. And yeah, if you watched all this time or still watching at this point, hell, comment down below, almost done. Something like that. And yeah, then thank you all for watching, sharing, subscribing, liking, commenting. Yeah, just enjoying the videos. I hope you enjoy it. I like making it for you folks out there, all of you. So yeah, enough of me blabbering. May the Lord bless all of you. And yeah, see you all next week.